So as I left off in NYFA Stories number 1, I was going to tell you guys about the curriculum and what goes on during the actual film camp process, not all the fun activities, the actual classes that you were involved in. So during NYFA, I forget what school it was, but we were using this campus of some sorts that belonged to another school that during the actual school year they would be in progress, but they weren't, so NYFA took it over. And that location was freaking awesome. We had 3 levels to ourselves. The first level was with all the classrooms and a little lounge area. The second floor, there was another lounge area, there was a dining hall, and then on the 3rd floor is where the editing bay was, which was awesome. I think that's how many levels there were. I could be wrong. I think we had 3 levels. So during the classes, they basically introduced to you ways of shooting films. You know, using a telephoto lens, showing us examples like Good, Bad, and the Ugly or The Untouchables of how they shot the film. Did they use a close-up? Did they use a medium shot? Did they use a wide-angle lens? Did they use a close-up lens? A lot of that going on during the classes. And then everybody in the class was paired up in groups of 3. So I got paired up with 2 guys, Josh and Nick. Josh I clicked with right away. He loved Fight Club, The Town. He was an awesome dude. Nick, on the other hand, Nick liked to argue with me about movies a lot. Back then I didn't see every single movie, so there were a couple movies that he was listing off at me, like really classic films that I haven't even seen yet during that time 2 years ago. And I was listing off all these films like Inception, The Town, and a bunch of other mainstream films released that year. I wasn't really talking about classic films that much, and he hated that. I could tell he hated that. But eventually me and him got along because we had to, because if we didn't, our film shoots would have been terrible. So most of the classes consisted of us being in groups of 3, planning ideas, planning shots, what are we gonna do, what's our story, basically most of that. Along with that class, which is the main class of the program, there's writing classes, there's editing classes, there's acting classes. There's all different types of classes that involve every type of filmmaking. What you need to have if you're planning on joining the film industry, you need to have a general consensus of everything that goes on, especially if you want to be a director like I want to be. Now let's get back to some fun activities that went on. Just by the way, if you're wondering where the dorms are, it's 55 John Street. That's where we stayed during the weeks of NYFA. 55 John Street. Look at it on Google Maps. So in these dorms is where everybody stayed, and the dorms were awesome. So many amazing people like Amanda, Hans, Diogo, Joe, Alex, Giuseppe, Frankie, Jenny, Jonah, Sophie, Deanna. There's so many people. And I love how I can just list off all their names like that. And that's how you know I had a good time at NYFA, because I can remember all those people's names without hesitation. The dorms were extremely fun, and there was this wall where they would display all the activities. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday there was always something going on after the classes were done. Sundays were the most boring days. Sundays was always a museum, which I didn't really want to go to because I've already been to all the museums in Manhattan. So Sundays was my rest day, or hanging out with other people day. Saturdays were the best days for activities. We went to theme parks, we went to movies, we went to other things that were just so awesome. Fridays were awesome as well. Thursdays was the okay day. They had some good activities, but there would also be like those very bizarre activities like yoga, karaoke night, which I didn't want to do. Wednesdays had some great movie nights as well. Every Wednesday there was always a gathering where we all went to the movie theater and saw whatever movie we wanted to see. Except they wouldn't show us rated R films. I don't know why, but they didn't. Now getting back to the dorms real quick, there is a curfew. Yes, there is a curfew. You have to be inside 55 John Street building at 9 o'clock. And then you have 1 more hour of roaming around and being with everybody. And then at 10 o'clock you had to be inside your room because they had to keep track of everybody. Like, I understand why they did this. I'm not against the fact that they made us have a curfew. But it did get annoying at times because you wanted to hang out with your friends more than you wanted to be inside your room during curfew. And that is where we're going to leave off at the end of this vlog. We're going to continue next week with some more activities and my first short film there. So anyways guys, I hope you've enjoyed my NYFA Stories number 2. Please subscribe if you like these stories, and please subscribe to my main channel, which is The Random Mind, where I do movie reviews and movie thoughts. So please check out that as well. Thanks guys, I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you guys next week.